It says we're live. I believe when a computer tells me that I'm live, that it is in fact correct. We are live.
If you say so, man.
Yeah. I choose to believe that.
Whatever you say, old man.
Who you calling oldie?
Talking to you, Grandpa.
A couple of squares.
Yeah. That's right. All right.
Ugh.
Let's just do this thing. Let's just get into it. Hello and welcome to episode 754 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. An episode on 420. We finally did it, friends. Oh, I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
I was shaking my head in that dad way with your stupid marijuana joke.
Wait, is that what that means?
No.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What did you think it meant?
So embarrassed.
Thought it was some sort of pervert thing.
I okay.
You know, when you
Hi.
kind of put your body in the shape of a 4 and then your partner is kind of like a
Wait, what now?
20?
20, yeah. You understand.
No.
We've all, you know.
I'm good, CJ. Keep going.
Okay, well then, joining me also from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir?
It's fantastic, man. Just
Now,
best.
we have both received our first vaccination shot.
Right here. Right in. Old lefty.
Phil.
Yeah.
That arm looks bigger than the other one. What's happened? Is that the mutation?
Oh, that's
Is that the 5G coursing through your veins?
you know what? That's all the zunes I've embedded in my skin now.
You're like Iron Man, but like really cheap off-brand.
Off-brand. It's another fine Microsoft product, Greg.
There you go.
Bill Gates
That's right.
says
I own you now?
in a cave.
Bill Gates
box
says
of
whatever
scraps.
I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've been I traded in my iPhone. I picked up one of those Windows phones now.
Yeah.
CJ's
still
best
make-
friend Mike used to love his Windows phone.
Do they still make Windows phones?
No.
They don't. I don't think they do now.
I have a top
been a
secret
while.
Windows phone. It's part of the new world
Windows Phone family.
order
Uh-huh.
revolution. Yeah.
I
No,
see.
yeah, no. I went and got my first vaccination shot
Yeah.
early this week. So
I got mine yesterday as we record
Yeah.
this.
and I'm all
Yeah.
scheduled for my for round 2. I'm all set.
Me too.
for
I'm
round
ready. Let's bring on
Yep.
round 2.
2. Yeah.
Ready.
then-
I haven't had any side effects or anything like that. Just the sore arm sort of thing. Like somebody punched me a whole bunch in the left arm.
No.
I was watching TV with my wife.
It's an urge
last
that's
night.
hard to fight. What?
I was watching TV with my wife last night, and
Uh-huh.
we were watching TV in bed, and she lays where like she's next to that arm. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So something happened on the screen. This happened twice. We're watching something. She hits my arm, and I'm like, "Ow!" And she did it again, and I'm like, "Ow! That really hurts."
What are you guys watching that is encouraging her to just punch you?
We're
Let's
watching.
be honest. Does it have any? Is encouraging her to punch you? Does that take a television program at all?
No. We're watching. If you must know, we were watching the season finale of Survivor season 35.
Oh my!
It was
goodness.
Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers.
Oh,
Is
the
what we were
classic.
watching.
The classic.
The
matchup.
classic.
Yeah.
Classic matchup.
So
It was
wait,
quite surprising.
is that are they still doing Survivor? Is that still a thing? that
Yeah,
do?
they are up over 40 seasons of Survivor at this point.
Oh
They've
my
done
god!
two a year for the last 21 years, and until like last year.
Oh,
The
my.
first and last time I watched a season of Survivor was when I worked at Ziff Davis.
Yeah, it was season
Because we
1.
were watching it.
It was the
during
same.
deadlines. Was it
It
season
was
1?
the same here. Yeah, that was
What?
season 1.
Oh, I had no idea.
we watched
and I've
when we
never
worked it.
watched. I've
And
never watched a season.
my
of
investment was entirely because of the people around me were watching it, and it was either
Yeah.
that or sit at my desk.
Yeah. Well, during the whole stay-at-home thing, we burned through basically 35 seasons of
Oh my
Survivor.
god.
Wow.
And yeah, we started watching, I think we watched like season 30 first, and then we went back
That
to
sounds
season
like
1
you.
and watched
Yeah.
from season 1 onward. Yeah. It's really quite good.
They call that
I'll just say that.
they call that watching Survivor in machete order.
I
When you
actually
start
really
at season 30 and then go
That's
back
right.
and you
It's
get the
exactly-
history filled in. Yeah. No, I
That's
understand.
exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we went to the mass vaccination center they have set up in the state fairgrounds in Yakima. And
get some elephant ears while you were there.
no, we didn't. but
Is that what they call? Is that what you all call beaver tails?
Probably.
What?
I can only
Wh-
assume
okay,
based on
when
the
you're buying
size
what you're
and
calling an
shape.
elephant ear. What is that?
It's just like a big piece of fried dough.
Yeah, that's
Fried
called
dough.
that's called a beaver tail here.
Now,
Okay.
is it like a flat
Mm-hmm.
thing? I guess that makes
Well,
sense.
like a
'cause like a
yeah,
beaver tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Uh,
so cute that you have your own little Canadian spin on it.
At least we're not just
Because I mean,
using
we don't
animals
have
that aren't even in
moose
our
antlers
country.
yeah, we don't
It's
even
not
have
moose
we don't have
related.
elephants here in the
That's
wild.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be like American eagle wings.
Oh my god! You guys politicize everything.
Can I get one of them freedom cakes?
Freedom cakes.
You got them deep fried freedom cakes?
No, but we basically
Yeah.
like drove this sort of circuitous path through the fairgrounds, through like the closed restaurants and like stalls that they
Okay.
have.
Oh, that's sad.
gonna-
Got our
Now, what do you-
shots there.
Now, Greg, what do you guys call
Didn't even
funnel
leave the
cakes?
car. Didn't
What do
even
you guys
leave
call
the car.
funnel cakes up there?
Describe a funnel cake to me, because I just don't think we have them.
Okay, so a funnel cake is
I'm guessing it's like this,
still
but it's in the
fried
shape of a
dough.
funnel.
it's still fried dough, except well, you siphon the dough through a funnel into the boiling oil, and you kind of move it around, so you have it's kind of like a tangly mess.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm
dough.
looking at pictures of them. We just call them funnel cake.
Okay.
Well,
But
there
we
you
don't have
go.
them around here.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Given the choice, I'll take a funnel cake over an elephant ear or beaver
Yes.
tail any day of the week.
I like funnel cakes. Funnel cakes are good.
See, I like it because with the beaver tails, at least around here where you can buy them, it's the toppings.
Yeah, okay.
Get all the
you
great
Oh, well,
toppings.
yeah.
But
I
no,
mean,
that
the
we-
same
syrup?
with funnel cakes and all that.
maple
you know, you
syrup,
gotta
I'm
get
sure
some
there's-
toppings
I'm
on
sure
there.
you can get that.
Canadian bacon,
Nobody likes Canadian bacon.
poutine,
Just call it ham up there.
just regular bacon. Just,
Pretty much.
it's like going to California Pizza Kitchen in the Bay
In
Area.
California.
Oh God, I
It's
hate
just,
California.
it's
Just Pizza Kitchen. God,
Pizza
that's a
Kitchen here.
stupid joke. How many times do we make that stupid joke when we live in
gotta
Chicago?
Drop the
Man,
C.
Yeah, California Pizza Kitchen's not very good.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
What was the
No.
name? So I was trying to think of this the other day, and I think it was because Mark McDonald posted something on
Okay.
Twitter to do with food.
Okay.
And I was trying to think of, and CJ, this is more a question for
Hooters.
you.
You're thinking of Hooters.
Yes.
No, I'm not thinking of Hooters. There was an Italian, that was Sam Kennedy.
Okay.
There was an
Buca
Italian
di Beppo.
Buca de Beppo.
Buca di Beppo. And Mark
really?
McDonald had a thing for
Wow.
the
Buca di
spaghetti
Beppo.
there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I never thought it was that good, but he loved it.
Buca
No.
de Beppo spaghetti is always it's like that really fat spaghetti
Yeah, it was very dry too.
and
And
it-
dry,
well,
yeah.
Well, you know why? Because it was always kind of overcooked.
Well, that's what I mean.
Mm.
I never
Yeah,
liked
yeah.
it. But I think the
Yeah.
reason Mark liked it was because when we would get that on during our deadline dinners is you could get a lot of it
You get a whole
Yeah.
for
tray
real
of it.
cheap.
Yeah.
And he would just get a tray and he would be eating that for days. Is my theory. I
Yeah.
don't quite remember
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
reminds me of like there was a Chinese, I think it was a Chinese place that we would order from too. And if you ordered hot and sour soup, it just came in this like gallon
Oh,
jug.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic.
They'd
But
empty out,
anyway,
like,
that was my
cartons of
Buca di
milk.
Beppo. That Chinese place was my Buca di Beppo. So
Was that Pacific Rim? Was that the,
probably, I don't remember.
Yeah.
The
Good
Guillermo
times.
Del Toro.
No.
restaurant?
No,
No.
it wasn't. No.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
all vaccinated, well, half vaccinated and feeling good.
Yeah. I'm looking
Half-vaxxed.
forward to getting out and just start licking crap again. Without a
It's
care
like the
in
good old
world.
days, 2019.
I mean, yeah, this year you've had to put a memory card in your mouth. You can't get out there and do your
Nope.
thing.
Nope.
Yeah, got to do it on inside on a podcast.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about we talk about some video game news?
What's their news this week?
Not really.
So then let's move on to tweets.
There was an update to the PS5 system software.
Oh, good.
This was pretty big.
Does this include
The big
games?
thing here is that you can now store PlayStation 5 games on an external USB drive. You cannot run them from the external USB drive,
But it's
you
way
can
faster to transfer them between
store
systems
them.
than it is to re-download things.
Yeah, you don't have to re-download now. You can just move
Okay.
it off of cold storage. So there you
Is
go.
having an external drive connected to the thing still
No.
hard crash and brick your system?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have a friend who's had his external drive connected to his PS5 for months now, and he doesn't have
Okay.
problems anymore.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I honestly
Yeah.
have not turned on my PS5 in
I haven't
fair
either.
amount of time.
What is
The
wrong
last time
with
I
you
turned on my
guys?
PS5 was to play Destruction All-Stars whenever that came out in February.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the reason why you're not turning on your PS5. You're playing crappy
Because
games.
Destruction All-Stars turned me off of it. Yeah, although I'm excited-ish about Returnal. Like that could be good. Every time they release a new trailer, it continues to look pretty good. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But
So wait a minute.
anyway,
CJ,
you can mute in-game chat, voice chat now with a touch of a button now in the game base options. So
Really?
that's a big one. Yeah.
Huh.
What were you about to say there, Greg?
CJ has an excuse because all he ever plays is Sea of Thieves anyway. But Phil, why have you
It's
not
not
turned on
all
your
I play.
PS5 in forever? Is it just because you're moving, or
What
are you
what is
playing anything?
there- what is there to play on it right now?
Okay.
PlayStation games?
Yeah.
Why? What came out? What came out
Well, I mean,
since
Do
Miles
you not have
Morales?
any old PS4 games that you've not played yet?
Not that I've been itching to play.
Okay.
Although actually, that's not true. I do have
Oh, I knew it wasn't true when you said it, but sorry,
like a
go ahead.
dragon. I have like a dragon that I need.
Oh
to
my
play.
god, yeah.
There you go.
That is
I
on my
definitely
short
like a
list
dragon.
of things to play next.
It is. But it is it's packed up at the moment, so
Okay.
Hmm.
because
I see. Apparently this
physically.
update makes the disk drive spinning quieter somehow. I don't know. That was one of the things I read.
Okay.
I don't have a disk drive, so I don't know. Can't corroborate.
I do, and it
that
is
report.
loud. I haven't checked to see if it's quieter now or not.
Hmm.
Is that what it is? It makes it quieter? I thought it had to do with
Apparently.
the frequency of when it spun up.
Maybe.
Because
Maybe
I
it's
think if you have a disc in it, every now and then it would just spin up.
Right.
And I think maybe it doesn't do that,
real
or it
reason.
doesn't do it as often now.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong. It's happened
You've been wrong before.
at least once or twice.
Yeah.
About 14 years ago, when I asked a friend to start a podcast,
Wait a second.
I was wrong.
Talking about me.
No, I was talking about Phil. You and I were good,
oh.
but
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Episode 4. All downhill from there.
beginning of the end.
We peaked at 4. All right. So we had some more Days Gone sequel news because David Jaffe has been having
God.
Sony Bend employees come on his podcast and talk about Days Gone 2. So apparently the director said, there's a quote from the podcast. If you love a game, buy it at blanking full price, effing full price.
I'll say Bippy.
If you love a game, buy it at effing full price. I can't tell you how many times I've seen gamers say,
Oh, we were
yeah,
playing
I got that on sale. I got it through PS Plus, whatever.
Right.
There's so many things wrong with that statement. And I say that full well. Like, I empathize with the feeling.
Yes. I
'Cause to
also
work is
empathize
hard.
the feeling.
Right. To work as
When
hard
you work
as
at when you
I'm
work
sure
at a
he did.
publisher
Mm-hmm.
and you're at a show demoing a game for somebody, and they're like, "Oh, this is cool. Hopefully, it goes on PS Plus." You're like, "Great, great." So you're
Then
not
even-
gonna. You liked it, but you're
Right.
not. You don't like it enough to purchase it. Which,
But I mean, I think even backing it up a little bit more, I
Mhm.
empathize with the whole working extremely hard on something creative, because working on creative projects is really difficult.
yeah,
And then not having it sell. I understand the
No.
frustration. And then, like, because the way I think the question was framed was David was asking, like, apparently there's been an uptick in interest in the game ever since it got on to, was it PS Now, I think?
I think they gave it away on PS Plus. Like it's on.
Something
It
like
is on
that.
PS Now. It's on the part of the PS Plus
And-
collection.
And clearly that was a pet peeve of this guy. And that's
Yeah.
what led to this statement where it's like, if you love something, you should pay full price for it. And I get where he's coming from, but I mean, no. Like, games are too expensive right now. And I'm not saying that from the standpoint of I feel like we're being screwed by the price of games. I get why they're expensive. They're expensive to make. But they're
Yeah.
expensive to buy. It's the days of like
That's
a
true
$50
too.
game are so long gone. And even down in the States now, it's $70 a pop. That's a lot of money, man. And it's over 100 here. When after our tax and everything on top of the exchange rate, which by the way, prices never get adjusted down when the dollar becomes more powerful in Canada, but they always go up when the dollar weakens.
Of course.
Like, so there's that. And like, dude, if you want people to go out and buy first of all, you can't love a game that you've never played. You want people to go out and buy a game on day one, maybe make sure that it comes out and it's in good shape. Because that game got poor reviews when it came out.
It did.
Because it was buggy.
Yeah, that's true.
And even now it's got a Metacritic of 71. And we've talked about that before. That might as well be 0 for as much
That's
worth
right.
as 71
Yeah.
is.
My God.
In most people's eyes.
Although
and I've
there are
never
a lot
played
of
it.
games I love that I have below a 70 on Metacritic.
Right. And I've never played it. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying whether it's a good game or a bad game. And actually, I'm one of the people who did buy it at full price because that was back when I was in my stupid I buy everything phase. But, like, we're in an age right now where all these AAA games come out and they're in terrible condition. Like, look at Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk is is sort of the biggest, most recent example of that, where that was another game that I was pretty much sold on buying day one. But then, initial reviews hit and it's like, well, I'm not touching this for months because it's a mess.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's
the
just
other
the way
thing
things
about
are nowadays.
The other thing about this is it was another zombie apocalypse game from a Sony studio, and
Right.
it was sort of competing at the same time when people were getting hyped up for Last of Us Part 2. So, I mean, I
Right.
don't really fault people for skipping it at launch. Like, if that's the reason they're not making a sequel, then I
Right.
mean, you can look at sales numbers, Metacritic, etc. Like, Sony doesn't have to make a sequel to a game they don't deem as a successful first entry in a franchise.
And the further to the comment there about like you're not allowed to have an opinion if you didn't buy it at full price. Oh, go to hell. Like that's such a stupid thing to say. And again, I get the frustration. I really do. But, I mean, you were counting on the fact that it was a Sony first party game to get people out to buy it, even with lackluster reviews and poor coverage. And again, a game, it's not a sequel to anything that anyone knew, which unfortunately does matter. And the Sony name wasn't enough to carry it to big sales in the first month. You weren't making Final Fantasy VII Remake or Last of Us 2 or the new God of War. Those games people go out and buy day one because that franchise is established. And it sucks that Sony's not willing to establish this as a franchise. But I mean, it's not Sinister.
No. Agreed. How do you
But he
feel
sounded
about
lovely
this,
otherwise.
Phil?
About
you don't care about Days Gone?
I don't care about Days Gone. I don't care about Days Gone. And as someone who works at a software developer, I am not involved in this conversation.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
As someone who's worked on a lot of games that a lot of people didn't buy, I don't blame any of you.
I should say that as well. I have had games that I've worked on that have not sold well at all, or have basically bombed, and I don't fault anybody for not buying those games.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Again, I
it
get
does
the anger.
hurt.
I really do, because crappy games take a lot of work too, and you don't set out to make something bad.
That's right.
Or that people, or even that, I should say, that doesn't resonate with people.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're at the mercy of the market once you put that out there.
That's very true. Very true. All right, so let's talk about the Nintendo Indie World presentation, which was last week. About 21 minutes of new games, new indie games. No sports story, unfortunately, but we did get some cool footage of games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Ollie Ollie World from Roll 7, which looks pretty neat.
Ollie is a neat game.
Ollie Ollie is a neat game.
I liked Ollie Ollie. Ollie Ollie takes some adjustment to get used to the controls, because it's a weird control scheme.
That is true.
Once you get it down, that's a fun little game.
It's a fun game, and this is sort of like an open world exploration with the Ollie Ollie sort of controls.
That's pretty cool. I'll check that out.
To it, and I think they said during the presentation that there's a simplified control scheme as well for people who just want to kind of play the story, which is interesting.
Okay.
A couple other highlights here. Fez is back in Switch form.
Apparently, that's really good.
I wanted to like Fez. I gave it a shot back in the
I
day,
wanted to like Fez until I watched Indie Game the movie.
Well,
right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a
yeah.
Whole,
what do you think of that Art of Rally game there, Greg? Have you seen the footage of that Art of Rally?
Yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm actually pretty excited to try it out. Isn't it on other consoles now too? Did I say
I
that
don't
it's
think
on
it's
or it's coming to Game Pass, or
it's coming?
I'm not
to
paying
other
full
consoles,
price for it.
Of course not. You don't want you specifically don't want them to make an Art of Rally 2.
Right. That is actually my goal, is that, you know what?
Please don't make a sequel. Yeah.
No, it looks really cool. I'm really excited to try it out, actually. And I will say, if it comes out on Game Pass, and I will try it that way, and if it's good, I probably will buy it, because I do want to support an indie dev that makes a game that I really enjoy.
I do. If I play something on Game Pass and really like it, I will often buy it on the Switch. So
I don't know that I'll buy it on the Switch, but I'll probably end up buying it in general, just because indie games are generally pretty cheap anyway, and I feel that it's easier to make that purchase decision because they're so much cheaper, and I feel like it's helping that developer more directly than me spending $100 on Days Gone.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how it
feels. Some of the other games, Ariel Knights Never Yield, which kind of looks like it's a runner style game, which Phil, you might be into this if you haven't seen that.
Phil doesn't run.
You like the Bit Trip Runner games?
Oh yeah.
Runner 3 and whatnot. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe of interest to you, Greg, here, the House of the Dead remake.
That looks awesome
on Switch.
I'm down for anything that's weird, like House of the Dead.
I like House of the Dead.
Yeah. That series has consistently been fun for all the right reasons.
Yes.
But it's just the first game?
Just the first game.
Just the first game, okay.
I wish Typing of the Dead is one of the most hilarious and interesting games Sega ever did.
Yeah.
I would love to see that style of games. Well, didn't they make a Lupin game that was typing?
Lupin the Typing.
Did they?
Yeah, Lupin the Third.
It was a Japanese arcade game.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And I believe it was just called Lupin the Typing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I got a weird subgenre of game.
I know,
like,
so
who
weird,
comes up with
I
that?
love it.
And I mean, it was an arcade game too.
So was Typing of the Dead.
Yes.
Did
Typing of the Dead was an arcade game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
First.
Man.
It was, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Typing of the Dead was nuts.
My daughter is taking, she has to do typing for her, remote learning. She has to do 20 minutes of typing club or whatever.
Okay.
Cool.
And some of them involve like little mini games or whatever.
Right.
And I'm always thinking about House of the Dead, like Typing of the Dead or
Typing
that
of the
style
Dead,
of game.
Did that use House of the Dead 2 as its template?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
You're literally playing House of the Dead 2.
Okay. That's what I thought.
By
they
typing words.
They just changed the graphics up. Like everybody has a keyboard slung around their necks, and they all have Dreamcasts on their backs.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God, it's so great.
I think the cutscenes are even the same, except I think the ending is different. There's this weird like fart joke ending or something like that, I think. But it's just But it works so well because the game was so campy anyway.
Oh yeah.
That it just
No,
it's like, oh, I'm typing now. Okay.
Yeah. So great. So
yeah.
great.
Also announced during this Indie World is Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon, which I guess is like the sequel to a Konami game that came out before Castlevania. Like there were a bunch of people that started talking about this as if it's like some great Konami rebirth of a franchise, but I've never heard of this game, so I don't really have anything
never heard of
to offer here. But it's like apparently like some kind of Zelda 2 style RPG-ish action game. And I think it's going on early access on Steam or something soon, but it's coming to Nintendo Switch.
What's it called
as well? Getsu Fumaden. So it looked neat.
I'm just not listening to you anymore. I'm going to Steam.
That's all I got. Yeah. Anyway, so then we come to the most important announcement of the week. Picross S6 has been announced. It's available for pre-order, and there's a demo available, as well as all of the like previous Jupiter Picross games are on sale until May 5th.
Pick them up.
I have pre-ordered it. It is currently sitting on my Switch, waiting for the day when it is activated.
Now, have you also downloaded and completed the demo?
No, You're
going to skip that this time?
Well, I've skipped it the past couple times, I think, once I realized that it doesn't carry over your progress.
Right, it does not carry over.
Yeah, so
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need a if it carried over my progress, then yes, give me a couple puzzles early, but if not, forget it. I don't need to be sold on this game.
All right,
I'm buying it. You know what I found out though, in all this this recent hullabaloo about Picross games here on Nintendo systems. You know, the Switch has the Picross S series, of course, and then the Picross E series was the downloadable Picross games on the 3DS. There's apparently a Picross E game, E9, I want to say, that was released in Japan but never came out here.
Wow. Huh.
There's a lost eShop Picross game that that we cannot buy here in North America, and it's breaking my heart. And you can't the eShops are not compatible on the 3DS. So
time to fly to Japan.
I know. I need to buy a Japanese 3DS just to play this
just
one game.
Just to play the lost Picross game
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And apparently, I think I saw this on Nintendo Life or something, one of those kind of Nintendo fan sites. The Sega Picross that Jupiter is doing is still coming soon. It's still on its track.
I'm very excited.
So,
that is very exciting.
We heard about that months ago, and then they just kind of stopped talking about it.
Well, it was like a 15-second teaser. They didn't even really show anything from it at the time.
But it's still coming, apparently.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I'm very excited because I really want Sega Picross.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. I guess we should get into what you've been playing then. And I'll start. I'll kick us off.
Jeez, okay.
Have you heard of this game called Pac-Man 99? We talked about it a little bit on last week's show. It's the yeah, exactly. It's the latest Nintendo Switch Online sort of free-to-play game in the same vein as Tetris 99 or Super Mario Brothers 35, but it's using Pac-Man.
Yes.
And as part of a DLC pack, either at the $15 level or the $30 level, you can unlock private matches. So one of our listeners asked if we would do like a player one Pac-Man 99 private match thing. So I said, sure, why the heck not? That sounds like a great idea. So we did that on Friday.
We did.
And found out there's some limitations to the private match setup in Pac-Man 99, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you can set up a private match. And when you start it, you like set a passcode and then people can join in. But if people rematch before the actual 99 slots have played out, everybody's finished, then if you rematch, you go into a separate lobby that counts down separately. So we weren't actually all playing together, which was really unfortunate. I kind of wish they would have one room. Like, what's the point of doing a private match? Like, who's going to really have 98 other people join them for a match, or more than that, to like split into multiple rooms or something?
Yeah.
It really doesn't seem like a great...
Yeah. It was a little weird. Because there was a couple times where it was just you and me.
Yeah, it was just you and I. And we were... The only reason we stayed together was because we were both in Discord chatting.
Right. Yeah.
And on voice chat. So we knew
there's no
when to hit
in-game
rematch.
chatting.
No in-game chatting, unfortunately.
So we had a little...
Well, actually, there might be. I didn't even open the Nintendo Switch Online app.
I don't know.
During the whole thing?
I don't think there is.
I don't think so, though.
No. Yeah, but I mean, you set up a little Discord channel.
I did.
And any listener could have popped in there to chat. And then a few did.
We had Guillaume Vayette from NWR Radio Free Nintendo join us, and we had Wanster join us. So that was great fun.
But yeah, there were a couple matches where it was clearly just you and myself and 97 bots.
I think the most people we got in there, though, was like 6 other people. There was or at least 6 of us total.
Yeah, exactly.
In there. So I don't know how many people listening to this joined us, but thank you for attempting to join our Pac-Man 99 game.
And what's the highest you got?
Number 2.
I
got second.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I also got 98 in one of the rounds. So
second from the top, second from the bottom.
That's right.
Running the gamut.
That's right. That's right.
Pac-Man 99.
I think when I got 98, I was trying. So we were talking with Guillaume and Wanster about like the different modes that you can go into, like the speed or train or strength and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I'll try the speed function, and then
just like ran into a ghost.
I very quickly died. Is what happened there. That was the speed round.
Way to go.
Yeah, but it's a fantastically fun game. I really like it.
I will I mean, obviously I've been playing this as well because I was joining in that game. After our discussion last week about the wonky D-pad on the Pro controller, which I've never had trouble with the D-pad on the Pro controller, but it doesn't seem to work very well on Pac-Man 99. I took your advice, and you actually know this because I told you.
Wait, my advice? Me? You took advice from me?
Seems dangerous.
I mean, I'm not going to sit and watch 30 damn seasons of Survivor. I got I got better things to do than that. Did you seriously, like, this entire year, like, all you've watched is Survivor?
No, it's not all we've watched.
Lord.
I also watched WandaVision and The Mandalorian, and
Oh, you watched WandaVision?
I did, yeah.
You must have loved all those references to the MCU.
I did miss them. I missed them all, of course.
Who's this robot fellow? This robot fellow seems to be in love with this human lady.
RoboVision.
How does that work?
He has some kind of jewel or gem in his forehead.
This lady seems to have magic powers. I don't understand
She's
this
the greatest
show.
magician.
But no, I have not only just watched Survivor.
Is the
I also did a
Incredible
rewatch
Hulk
of The
in
Office.
this? Oh, a rewatch of The Office too. Did you rewatch the whole Office, or did you stop when it stopped being good?
Of course, you stop when it stops being good. That's what you do.
Steve Carell walks off into the distance, and you.
Yeah.
Well,
you kind of do the same with Parks and Rec. Like as when Leslie runs for office, there's a couple good episodes in there, and then it sort of like
Did you
just peter out
with Parks and did you rewatch Parks and Rec?
Yes.
Did you skip like the first season?
Yes, we skipped the first season.
Smart move.
Went right to season 2.
You just start that up when Adam Scott shows up, basically.
Oh yeah, that's when it gets really
that's
good.
when that show begins. But
that is very true. That is very true.
Oh,
anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, Pac-Man 99. No.
I'm going to say this though. I pointed this out on Twitter. Schitt's Creek is cheap on iTunes right now.
Ooh.
It's 30 bones for the whole.
But why would I pay for it when I can see it on Netflix?
Well, then watch it on Netflix.
It's eventually going to go away from Netflix.
Probably eventually stop watching it.
As everything comes back, including
The
Office.
When Eugene Levy starts his own streaming service.
Is The Office not on Netflix down there?
No.
Oh, it is here.
It's on NBC's streaming service.
Ah, okay.
That's honestly how NBC is selling you that service.
I was going to say, because The Office would be a huge selling point.
There are different tiers. If you subscribe to Peacock, which is NBC's service, there are different pricing tiers, and one of the main selling points for the different tiers is like on the lowest tier you can watch the first season of The Office.
How many seasons of The Office do you want to watch?
And the second tier has like the first 3 seasons. You know, that kind of crap. I mean, that is
actually
one
true.
of the bullet points.
No, I think the free version you can watch only season 1, and then you have to pay for seasons like 2 through whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you pay them a little extra, they chop off the last couple seasons, so you don't have to deal with Ed Helms.
Yes.
Yeah, the highest tier means you can't watch anything past when Michael Scott left.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway,
what I was saying though, I took your advice and tried using the analog stick in lieu of the D-pad, and I think last week I was saying the highest I was able to get in terms of ranking in Pac-Man 99 was 31st, I believe. The first time I tried using the analog stick, I got 14th. So
there you go.
It works. Analog stick works better. It does.
Really does.
I'm a believer.
Well, and in Pac-Man also you can kind of pre-plan your turns and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I do. Well, that's how that game is played.
That's how you play it.
You have to think ahead.
I'm fine with using the analog stick is what I'm saying.
Well, good.
Anyway. So the second season of the second season of Sea of Thieves launched last week. So I'm back in it, of course. Got 100 more levels of progression. You can unlock new cosmetics and stuff. They got like new fort happening on the seas.
Oh, good.
That has a lot of high level loot, and it actually makes noise makes a noise when it appears that the entire server can hear.
What's the noise?
It's like a big foghorn.
Loser.
Ouch. But now you can also buy resource crates with gold. You can buy resource crates with gold. Or buy empty storage crates, which is cool. There's a new merchant. There's some new merchant stuff to do in that game. So a lot of fun happening on the seas. They added an emote that lets you hide in a barrel in plain sight. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on the seas. That's all I'm saying.
A lot of people going in barrels and then like, fooled you, I'm not really in a barrel.
Hopping out of the barrel. Yeah.
It was me the whole time. You thought it was a barrel.
It was me. Yeah.
Thought it was a barrel, but it's me, your old pal CJ.
That's right. But I'm I am very impressed with how Rare and Microsoft have turned this into a live service game. I think it's done very well. I think the levels of progression of the season, just it flows really well. So maybe it feels a little bit fast this season. They tweaked it and made each like renown level out of 100 like go a lot quicker. But it's done really well, and of course, it's all cosmetic stuff, so you don't actually have to pay to get stuff out of the season. But you can give them 10 extra bucks and get premium cosmetics out of it.
Sounds like a slippery slope.
Slippery slope, but I definitely paid it. All right, the other game I've been playing is called Rain on Your Parade. This is an indie title that has launched directly into Xbox Game Pass, but it's also available on other platforms. And my daughter loves this game.
I've played a bit of this game as well.
I saw the trailer on Xbox's YouTube channel, and the whole concept is that you're a rain cloud that has to like ruin people's days by raining on them.
Yeah,
as per the title.
It's kind of like the Goofy Goose Game.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Untitled Goose Game. Sure,
you cause mischief.
And my daughter is very much into games where the purpose is to cause mischief.
Well, there you go. Has she played Mischief Makers?
That's a completely different game.
But
she likes the Goose Game. She likes Among Us. Like, she likes anything where she can help throw the game into chaos, right?
Yeah.
So, she does that in
the Sonic the Hedgehog games.
In Roblox.
Have Chaos Emeralds.
Sure. So she is really loving this, and she played it like all day on Friday.
Jeez.
And finished the game.
Oh, wow. Really?
Finished.
Wow.
It's the first game that she's finished.
Really?
Like from start to finish. Yes.
Oh, good for her.
So yeah, it was a great accomplishment here. And then she went back in because there's a new game plus. She went back into the game and replayed a bunch of levels. And there's some cool stuff in there. There is an Office parody in there. There's like some Good Place references. There's some like old video game references in there. So there's a lot of like really fun stuff. The game has a great sense of humor in the dialogue and everything. And the art style is very cutesy, but it's nicely stylized. And you can actually like draw. You have the little cloud cutout thing, but you can actually like personalize and design the face of the cloud yourself.
Yes.
And also adorn it with various hats and ornaments as well. So she's having a blast with it.
You unlock hats for it and such.
You unlock hats for the cloud. Yeah.
Yes.
But I tweeted the guy who made the game. It's an indie team, and said, this is the first game my daughter has finished. Like, this is fantastic. She loves it. Thank you for making it. So
yeah.
But
did the developer respond?
It's a great little game. No, he liked my tweet though. That's all.
That's good.
That's all I need.
That's good.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I see that you've been playing it as well, or
I
a little of it anyway.
Well, I originally saw it on the Switch. I saw it on the eShop in their coming soon section, and it caught my eye because it has an adorable piece of key art, if I may use an industry term.
I don't know.
It does.
We're getting into some jargon here.
Key art. I don't want to be too inside baseball here.
Inside baseball.
But it had a very cute piece.
Its key art was not FPO.
No. Which means, of course, for Phil only. Everyone saw this key art.
For Phil only.
It wasn't just
for
me.
Placement only.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But I saw and I watched the trailer, and it looked cute. It was I instantly got the Goose Game kind of vibe, maybe a little Katamari vibe.
Definite Katamari vibes. There are entire levels that are very much Katamari style gameplay.
And I was like, maybe I'll pick this up. It looks like it might be cute. And then I saw it was on Game Pass. I was like, well, I don't like it enough. I don't love it enough to pay full effing price for it, apparently. But I'll gladly play it on Game Pass. But yeah, I was playing a little bit. I've only played a few stages of it, and it is cute. Yeah, it's cute.
It's very cute.
It's a fun little time waster. I guess there's stuff you can get later on where it looks like you maybe like shoot lightning or snow or something like that. Is that
snow, lightning, get a tornado power up as well.
Okay. So yeah, I haven't gotten to any of that stuff, but yeah, it's a cute little diversion.
It's
a fun little game. I wish the little drawing thing where you can customize the face.
Yeah,
I wish that had a little more depth to it, because it's very much trying to draw with an analog stick.
Yeah,
doesn't really work. Like I wish I could kind of go in there and like Animal Crossing style, do it pixel by pixel.
Yep, I hear you on that.
Make it look the way I want, because when I tried to kind of draw my own thing, it's like you're trying to draw like a round eyeball, and
that doesn't work so well.
It's like drawing on an Etch-a-Sketch where you're like kind of sort of, and then like you get a line going straight out in one direction, and but no, it's cute. It's a cute little game.
My daughter did the angry eyebrows and the dot eyes. Yeah,
nice.
Good.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
She's definitely, like, anytime we play a co-op game, she's definitely the type of player that trolls the other players. Like if we play Heave Ho or whatever. I don't know if you ever played Heave Ho.
Oh my gosh, Greg's poking at us.
But she'll like Heave Ho is sort of a teamwork game, and she will let you fall to your death.
Oh my
and in Mario Party, she uses the poison mushroom on me all the time. And so she's a very trollish player in general. So she really likes the gameplay in this, which is very much that.
You should dig out your GameCube and play a little Four Swords with her.
I don't think we'd get through very much of that.
I bet she would enjoy it, though.
I bet she would.
Fun chucking you into lava or whatever. So
this game is called Frustrate Daddy. Yeah. Anyway, but that's what I've been playing. So,
very nice.
Greg.
Oh, hi.
Welcome back to the show, sir. Welcome back. What do you got? What have you been playing?
Welcome back.
Why have you not downloaded Pac-Man 99?
I have. I just haven't played it yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Busy man. What can I say?
Yeah.
3 kids. Yeah. So I played a few different things this week. I finally got my Apple Arcade free trial running again, and downloaded Fantasian and tried that out because I was really looking forward to it. And I played it for about 2.5 hours or so, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not for me.
It's not for you.
No.
What about it makes it not for you?
You know what? Actually, that I haven't done yet that I think I should try is I should connect a controller to my iPhone and try to play it that way. I don't like the traversal. I don't like the touchscreen traversal. So I don't know if that's the only thing that's keeping me from it, but that's one of the things that's like right up on the top of the list.
I agree with that. I think the traversal, because you tap a point and she walks there.
Yeah, it's like you drop a pin basically on the screen.
You drop a pin
and she goes there. So
and it's not great when you have sort of multi-screen traversal that you need to do because you need to tap multiple times to have her go across an environment. So that I agree with.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you're going to have scrolling screens, which I think you have to. I mean, I get why they did it because the game would have felt way too tight without it. Yeah. But exactly that, where it's like, okay, so I'm waiting for the screen to scroll up and I'm going to tap again and tap again. And I mean, it gets annoying after a while. The combat's okay. I enjoyed the combat. And the graphics are nice. The music's great.
Yes.
And I love the idea of the dioramas that they created and photographed as the backgrounds. At least that's what it looks like they did.
Yes.
They look wonderful. It's a really nice look. And it's different. Yeah. It is different in a good way. You know what I mean? Like it definitely gives the game personality. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep plugging away at it for a little while, but it's not leaving much of an impression. I'm not like
okay.
looking forward to continuing it. You know what I mean? Like I was sort of forcing myself to keep playing it evening after evening, just because I wanted to make sure I tried it out. But then I honestly probably halfway through this. Well, no, I'd say by like this most recent Friday, I realized I hadn't played it for 3 days or so, and it's like, oh, I forgot I was even playing it. So it's not leaving an impression. Unfortunately, it looks nice and it plays nice, but it's just not grabbing me. So, but I tried it.
Which would you prefer to play, Greg? Fantasia on Apple Arcade or Fantasia on the Genesis?
Probably Fantasia on Apple Arcade.
Okay.
Fantasia on the Genesis was really bad.
Oh, it's bad.
It's like exceptionally bad.
That is a very bad Sega Genesis game.
And boy, everybody played it because they loved Castle of Illusion.
We all wanted it to be a new Castle of Illusion game, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, it was not.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Speaking of Genesis, I also on Twitch this week, someone had requested that I play Monster World 4, which is one of those games that, like, I think all of us who've been around as long as we have heard for years about what an amazing game this was and how it was such a shame that it never came here. I mean, it has, since come here. Obviously, it's on the Genesis Mini, and before that, it was on the like Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network and stuff like that as well, and officially translated version. But I'd played it for like 5 or 10 minutes here or there, but I'd never really given this game a whole lot of time. And so I played it for a little over an hour and a half the other night, because that's how long my streams go normally. Man, that is a good game. I was just like, it was so funny because people in the chat who had never played it either were just like, I forget who it was, but one of the people who's in my chat regularly said, like, I love how good this game seems, and I love even more how much I was clearly enjoying it. Like, I was just like visibly happy playing this game. It's just it plays really nicely. The mechanics make a lot of sense, and there's just enough sort of discovery in it that you never get stuck or not sure what to do next, but you're still sort of discovering these cool little things. It doesn't completely hold your hand, especially when you unlock, I think his name is Peplugu. He's this little blue flying creature that follows Asha everywhere, but you have to hatch him first. So the first part of the game, you don't have him. And then once you get him, he has sort of a whole series of abilities, which, if there's something in the game that explains what they are, I missed it. But they're easy to discover, and they're fun to discover almost immediately when you go into like the first level after you hatch him. But it's really pretty. It's got that sort of late Genesis look to it. It's really colorful, and it's got a great soundtrack. But I was really digging it so much.
Yeah.
Don't sit on that. If you were one of the people who bought like a Genesis Mini, do yourself a favor and just go give that game a couple hours, and I'll bet you'll be hooked. I really definitely want to keep going on it. And someone actually Lauren Helgeson in the chat asked what are my thoughts on Asha and Monster World, which is the upcoming 3D remake of Monster World 4. And I want to try it, and actually I kind of want to try it even more now, because I've played the original some more. Like, before, I didn't really have a frame of reference outside of the fact that over the last couple of years, I've become a big Wonder Boy in Monster World and those games, like a big fan of those games, thanks to Dragon's Trap, the Dragon's Trap remake, and Monster Boy and Wonder, I forget what that was called, the homage to it. But anyway, they were great games. So I was kind of interested in trying out Asha in Monster World anyway, but I got to say, I'm not crazy about the look of it, because it's one of those. Of course, this is an old 2D game, and they've gone with 3D models for everything, and they don't look great. So that's kind of my thoughts on it now. I still want to play it, and I think I want to play it even more, like I said, now that I've actually played Monster World 4. But I'm not crazy about the way it looks at all.
Actually, I have I've pre-ordered the Asha in Monster World I got the Switch version.
Apparently the physical version comes with the old Genesis game too.
It does. Yeah. It actually calls that out on the cover. So yeah, if you are looking for a way to play the original Genesis game,
Yeah.
it's on there as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely give it some time. Like when don't just let it sit on your shelf. Give yourself a couple hours to just play it. I think you'll really like it, Phil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I've played. I've not finished Monster Bowl before, but I've certainly played it, and yeah, it's outstanding. It's a wonderful, wonderful game.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those games where you've been hearing for where I'd never given it some time. Been hearing for years about how good it is, and never doubted it.
Yeah,
but wasn't really prepared for how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When I actually played it. So yeah, really good times. And then the other thing I started playing this week, and this is because of a listener who actually gave me a PlayStation Now subscription, a 3-month subscription. Who is asked not to be named, but he asked me. He sort of sent it to me. Yeah, he sort of gave it to me for two reasons. One is that he wanted me to sort of play around with PlayStation Now and give an opinion on what that is, and I haven't really done that too much yet. But the other reason was because Marvel's Avengers is on there right now. And I had mentioned how I wanted to play that, but I didn't want to support the developer, so I wasn't going to pay for it. So I played a few hours of it so far, and I have to say, Kamala Khan, I love her as a main character.
She's great, isn't she?
She is so great.
I love it.
And it's not so much because of her superpowers, which she's fun to play as, right? But she's a super fan. Like she's presented right from the start as just this insanely nerdy comic book, superhero super fan, because in that universe, obviously the Avengers actually exist, but they're also in comic book form too. And the whole opening of the game is her and her dad going to A-Day, which is Avengers Day, which she's going as a finalist for a fanfic. Like she's created a fan comic book, and it's chosen as one of the best ones, and she's there for somebody to win that prize, and she's going there with her dad. And so the whole first part of the game is her going through these different kiosks and tents and sort of displays all about the different Avengers. And of course she meets a few of them, and she's so perfectly played. She's so perfectly scripted. She's just this gigantic nerd. And the other thing that kind of caught me about her was at one point she meets Thor, and of course she's just starstruck by him, and he has his hammer, and she starts to recite what I don't think it's written on the hammer, but what Zeus, or what am I saying Zeus for? What's Thor's father's name? What's Thor's father's name?
Oh crap! Why
am I
blanking on it? Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins.
Why I have no idea why I'm blanking on his name. Yeah.
Anyway, what he said, he who, whatever the verse is,
Odin!
But it starts with Odin.
That
thank
is
you.
Odin, obviously.
How the hell did we not remember Odin?
Because we're idiots.
Thank you, Scoop Jessica. But anyway,
my name is Phil. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway, my point is, at one point she starts to recite that, and then she sort of stops herself halfway through and says, "She who shall," and I loved that moment because that's absolutely something one of my daughters would do.
No.
And it wasn't a whole, and it wasn't presented as this whole, like, I don't know. I don't want to get into I'm sure it sent a lot of people crazy for all the reasons you can think of. And it wasn't presented that way. It was just more of a very innocent, very typical for me moment. Anyway, it's beautifully scripted. I love it. And she plays, and the actress plays her so well. And I also
think the story in this game is really fun.
The story's the best part.
Yeah.
The story's the best part. And I also love that her dad is actually played by Babu. The actor who played Babu at Seinfeld is the actor who voices her father.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I knew it. I hadn't looked it up, but the first time he spoke, I was like, "That's Babu." And anyway, it is him. But anyway,
the answer is no. I'm sure.
What?
But have either of you ever read any of the Ms. Marvel comics?
No. I had never heard of her as a character until this game came out.
Really?
I don't read comics.
Yeah,
you
same
should
here.
absolutely read some of the Ms. Marvel comics because they are.
I mean, she's coming to the MCU as well, right? She's going to be in the next Captain Marvel movie, apparently.
Yeah, well, they're doing a TV series.
Yeah,
right.
Well.
They are doing a TV series. I forgot about that.
But yeah,
a Disney Plus series.
Yes, you should absolutely, if you get a chance to. They go on sale on Comixology a lot. You should check out some of the Ms. Marvel comics because they are quite a bit of fun. And
she seems really popular.
Well, she's a great character, and the comics are kind of just a fun little treat to go through. So
all that being said,
mm-hmm.
the game itself, I feel kind of bad for the dev team because it had to be so hard to come up with areas where, I mean, on the story mode, it's a little easier because they choose which character you play as. Like they decide which Avenger you're playing as. But it had to be so hard to develop every one of the characters that's in that game and make them all interesting and make them all easy to control. And I don't think they did a very good job. Yeah. Sorry. It sounds mean, but it's just like the whole game outside of the story, which has been fantastic so far, the whole game feels like it's just missing that last polish.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the area I'm in right now, I'm playing as the Hulk. And one of the things that
the green fellow?
Yes, the green fellow.
Yeah.
Not Puny Banner. And one of his abilities is that he can do wall jumps, basically, but only on very specific pieces of the wall that are marked by like scratches and things like that. And so like his
that's straight from the comics.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hulk can only climb
his
on scratchy walls.
Is like you'll be running up to a chasm and there'll be like these, very clearly marked, I'm supposed to jump here and then here and then here and then here. And it's like, okay, but the transition between animations, there's always this one beat that completely breaks the flow of it. And it makes it easy to fall off things. And it just, it doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't flow in any way. And it feels like most of the characters are like that. And controlling Iron Man, it's just not fun. Like you want Iron Man to be fast and zipping around all over the place and flying, and it just doesn't happen. It's just not there. Right. Yeah. And I get it. It had to be really hard to do all this stuff. But as I'm playing it, that's sort of all I can think of. And it's the same thing with the combat. The combat works, but it's not as good as it feels like it should have been. It feels like it didn't quite hit the mark. I find more often than not, I end up fighting with the camera during combat, which is too bad. Yeah. Where, they feel like they're just so close to being like, to getting it like they did in, say, Arkham Asylum or something, right? Where it's just, or I would even say maybe the Assassin's Creed games, where just you kind of flow from enemy to enemy and, move to move. And it's just right on the cusp of being there, but it's not there.
You can do some of that. So as you play Avengers, it unlocks more and more moves, but I think you have to assign the experience points to those things and like unlock them and like decide which ones you're going to do. And then for somebody like Iron Man, it makes you decide, like basically choose whether you want to do missiles or lasers or something else to, I forget what the three are, but basically like you have a loadout then that you have to, and also there are like different parts for each character, but it's like not even clear what already. You're upgrading. Like they wanted to make Destiny, but the characters look how the characters are going to look. They don't, like, the parts you get don't look any different. So
and they kind of try to explain that away in the upgrade screens. But yes, and that's the other thing that's holding this back is, and I want to play it as a single player game, but that's the other thing that's holding this back as a single player game is that it's built to be a massively multiplayer online looter shooter, for lack of a better term, right? And I'm not into it, and I feel weird basically doing exactly what you just said, where I'm finding parts to attach to the Hulk
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. And then I'm also having to decide which of those parts I want to upgrade based on the resources I'm finding.
Right.
And it's not clear, at least unless I'm reading the screen wrong, it's not clear to me why I would want to upgrade one part over another part. And like there is an optimization option in there, but I think it's only for equipping and not for upgrading. And I just don't want to deal with
right.
it. Yeah.
You're right, because you can set it on like give me the best stuff, but then like each part has like a secondary move or like secondary unlock that you have to do manually. You can't do that through the auto
and
system.
I get why it needs to be there because it's a massively multiplayer game. And obviously you need some customization. And when you're limited to, even though there are a lot of characters, when you're limited to those characters, they can't all be the same.
And the other thing is you say massively multiplayer, it's for like 4-player lobbies. It's not really like
but the idea is that you're it's your character.
Right.
Even though it's one of the Avengers. So
I should send you some of the screenshots early on where I was playing with 4 other Black Widows for some reason. It was very weird. Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, I mean, I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna. Excuse me. I'm definitely gonna finish it because I really do want to play through the story, and I love the story. It's been great so far.
Yeah.
There's a great scene which feels very Last of Us, where Kamala, she finds Bruce Banner, because this is all post this big explosion and the Avengers are all scattered.
Rebar. What?
No, not at all. That was a little dark. But after she finds him and they decide to go find Tony Stark and they're just driving.
Yeah.
They're driving down the road and you don't see where they're going. It's just this long shot where she's slurping on like a big gulp or whatever you want to call it. Just gigantic thing of soda, but like it's empty. So she's just doing that very annoying, like what Phil would do if you were it was like hanging out with Phil. Exactly. But then she's also messing with the radio and he keeps changing the channel. It's just a really cute scene that doesn't mean anything or do anything. But again, it definitely fits her character, which I love. I really think they did a great job with her character in this game so far. I really
absolutely
like her
a lot. She is the bright spot of this game.
Yeah.
Completely.
And she manages to make it's pretty dark. It's a pretty dark story, and so far, I mean, I haven't finished it, but she manages to bring comedy to it in a very sort of appropriate way, where it doesn't take away from the gravitas of a moment, but it's still kind of funny and light. And yeah, I really dig it.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
All right, Phil.
Yeah,
you're up, sir.
We've pretty much covered what I've been playing this week. Some Pac-Man and some wacky cloud. I did when I was downloading Super Cloud, I was looking at what else was on Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass. And I downloaded a game called Narita Boy, which I've just barely turned on and just kind of looked at, but I'm anxious to try some more of this. It's pixel art kind of adventure platformer kind of thing. It looks really cool. Looks very kind of story heavy. So I have nothing to say about it because I've just barely started playing it, but it looks neat. It's kind of set in ye olden days of like the early 80s, I guess. You're like a old school game programmer, and adventure happens around you or something like that. So I got to get into it more, but it's a cool looking game. I know it just came out on Switch as well, but it is up on Game Pass. So if anyone's interested in looking that up, I will hopefully have some time to play more of it this week so I can talk about it with a bit of actual knowledge next week. But it looks neat. I'm looking forward to playing it. I saw a trailer for it a couple weeks ago and was pretty sucked into it. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. But yeah, other than that, we've kind of covered what I've been playing.
Alrighty.
Although I am excited because coming there, I think, what is it coming out this week? The PS5 version of Judgment is coming out.
All right. Okay.
Have you guys played Judgment?
No,
at all? Not. Do you have any idea?
It's a spin, sort of related to the Yakuza team, anyway.
It's it's a like
I remember this.
Yeah,
it's a spin-off.
Yeah, it's a spin-off. It's more kind of beat 'em up centric, as opposed to kind of like obviously Yakuza is pretty beat 'em up heavy, but it's you have that kind of in-depth adventure game sort of in it as well. This is more kind of actiony. So yeah, that comes out on April 23rd, which is absolutely this week. So
yes,
I have that coming out Friday.
Exciting.
So I have that pre-ordered, so I'm looking forward to that as well. So
okay.
Yep.
Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweedly diddly dee. Oh, twiddly diddly 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 dee. Oh, twiddly diddly 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 dee. Oh, twiddly diddly diddly twiddly diddly dee.
Oh,
twiddly diddly diddly twiddly.
He's skipping.
Diddly diddly twiddly diddly doo.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Captain Logan, who says, "What's the best Transformer game that's
this
been
is the
put
one
out?"
we were talking about last week.
Yes, I said we would do it this week, and we are.
This week is now.
This week is now.
There are no good Transformers games. What's the next question?
Next one.
Oh, boy.
Convoy for the Famicom.
The Transformers, the Mystery of Convoy.
That game was terrible.
Convoy no Nazo, if I remember
right up there
correctly.
with Macross for the Famicom.
That game is just awful. What a mess that game.
What a steaming pile.
The War for Cybertron games are probably the best, right?
Do you remember the PS2 game?
Yes, it was just called the Transformers.
It was a pretty good game.
It's based on the I want to say Transformers Armada series.
I believe you're right.
And it is actually quite good. It is. Yeah. It's a first person shooter, right? Or is it? No, it's third person.
I think it's third person.
Yeah, it's third person. And you collect the little mini cons.
I think it was Melbourne House that developed it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And it
Atari published.
Atari published. Yeah, and it was actually a pretty darn good game.
And I remember it outside of the fact that it was a Transformers game that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it came out right near the end of development during Robotech Invasion, which was a third-person transforming robot game.
Oh, right.
Technically, you were,
Right, yeah.
And boy, did that ever screw up our development cycle.
Oh, really?
Because that game had a double jump in it it was decided at our studio that our game needed a double jump.
Oh.
Because Transformers was really good and it had a double jump.
Oh, okay.
And none of the levels have been built for that.
Oh, no.
So we went in and retrofitted everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was not fun.
Oh, I would imagine.
Neither was the game. No, the game was actually kind of fun, but no, Transformers on the PS2 was and nobody really thinks about it anymore because it was one of those, we were sort of late in the PS2's life cycle.
Right.
And,
and
who the hell thinks about an Atari Transformers game?
But it was released at a weird time because Transformers obviously huge in the mid 80s during what we now call Generation 1. Transformers was huge. And then Transformers popularity late 80s kind of waned a little bit. You had the Beast Wars.
There were people who loved Beast Wars.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I back when Beast Wars first came on, had no time for it. Don't give me this guy. What is this? Optimus Prime's a monkey.
Crap.
Give me this. Yeah. What is this garbage? No. Truck, not monkey. and I poo-pooed it for the longest time. Never watched it.
You have a bumper sticker that says that.
Truck not monkey.
Truck not monkey. And later on, though, because I heard that it was actually quite good, and it's by the people who did Reboot, and I loved Reboot.
Right.
See, there's something that I never got into.
I never got into Reboot.
I loved Reboot. Reboot was fantastic. I did go back and watch Beast Wars, and the animation, of course, is terrible because it is early CG for television. But Beast Wars is actually really damn good.
So yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. It's like you got to look past the visuals of it.
Yeah,
because to me they looked terrible when they were new, but now they've really aged poorly.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great cast of characters. It's got some fun stories, and as the show progressed, they actually started wrapping the mythos into G1. So because the whole gimmick of Beast Wars is it takes place, millennia after G1. They're like the ancestors, and they end up on prehistoric Earth. And there's actually like an episode that you would appreciate, Greg, where the Beast Wars characters, they're on through time travel shenanigans. They're on prehistoric Earth. Spoiler alert. And the dinosaur Megatron, who is a new character, actually finds the spacecraft that the Transformers were in, where they crashed on Earth.
The Ark?
He finds the Ark.
Nice.
He finds the Ark. And he comes up with a plan. He's going to break into the Ark, and all the, Optimus and Megatron and all their armies are all deactivated in there still. And he's going to kill Optimus Prime before he has a chance to reawaken, so that the Decepticons will win the war. And it does some clever stuff like that.
I'll never watch it, but that does sound cool.
Yeah, but it's cute. All the Beast Wars games are terrible anyway. But, but Transformers as a brand kind of died out for a good while. I mean, it was still going on, but it wasn't a pop culture juggernaut that it is today.
Right.
And that Atari game came out before, as terrible as they are, they put Transformers back in the spotlight, the Michael Bay movies. So people didn't think about it. But yeah, that Atari game was actually quite good.
Yeah.
The two War for Cybertron games are fantastic. They're really good games. They're self-contained stories. And you know what? I actually I popped in Devastation again recently. The Platinum game.
I wonder how this is going to go, because I did as well, but I'm really curious to see what you're going to say.
I'm still enjoying it. I think
really?
I think you mentioned that you were not digging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not a great game.
No. But I'm also fighting with my love of G1 Transformers.
But that's 100% what it is. This is clearly Platinum's B team. This game clearly did not have much of a budget, because the levels are all very samey, and you go through
but you kind of want to muscle past it. They are overly long.
And they are overly long. But at the same time, the characters look beautiful. They look fantastic. They have that cool, like, 80s anime cell shading look to them.
Yes.
They have, like, all the G1 voice actors back
that are still alive.
Yeah, like Chris Latta is not there doing his Starscream, unfortunately.
That's too bad, because nobody does it right.
Nobody does it. No.
Nobody sounds like him.
No.
Unfortunately, and Starscream, so much of his character was his voice.
Oh, absolutely. But you have, all the characters sounding like their G1 selves, and it's as a G1 Transformers nerd.
Yeah,
I still enjoy playing Devastation despite its many, many faults.
It's the same reason I loved Robotech Battlecry. It's not an amazing game by any stretch of the imagination, but cell shaded Valkyrie battles. Yep.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't need to be more than that.
But now what is this? What's going on in our chat here?
Except for Megatron's voice.
Except for Megatron? No, that's Frank Welker.
Was it Frank Welker in Devastation?
Devastation is Frank Welker. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at the IMDb page right now. It says Frank Welker as Megatron and Soundwave. So.
All right.
Yeah,
Are we done with this question?
The
answer is the Atari game.
Transformers question.
No, the actual
See,
answer
I knew we shouldn't do this one last week because I knew
we would have been here for an hour.
Talking about it for 20 minutes.
The actual answer is the War for Cybertron games.
Okay,
that's the actual answer. Play the War for Cybertron.
What system?
They're good games.
What system?
They're
PS3?
on what? PS3. They did a
Xbox
PS4 port of one or both of them, I think.
What publisher and developer were those?
Well, that was High Moon.
It was Activision, wasn't it?
And yeah, Activision.
Activision. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
Although if you're a G1 nerd, then play Devastation.
I see.
Yes.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias, Gem Clash or Rank, who says, do you feel that the economics of retro games have ruined them? I feel like game prices dictate what I play and therefore control what I experience.
This is why you got to get over any aversion you have to emulating games. Yeah. Retro game prices haven't ruined them. I definitely don't collect anything anymore,
right?
Because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I also, what I have collected in the past has always been done from the standpoint of I want to play this, not I want this in my collection.
Right.
The collection is too big to play everything, but it's funny because every now and then, like I'm on a couple of different Facebook groups, and there was actually somebody today who I even forget it's a Genesis game on one of the groups that I'm in. It was something they had when they were a kid, and they loved it. And then, of course, they grew up and left it at home, and mom gave it away or sold it or something like that. Right. And then in recent years, they bought it again because they loved it so much and they want to play it again.
Yeah,
that's great. But today, what they were posting is, I went to finally play it today, and they knew it was sealed, but by the looks of it, it looks like it might be factory sealed.
Oh,
and can't bring themselves to open it. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't get that mentality. If you're not, if you bought it to want to play it, I don't get the mentality.
Do you know what it was?
I don't remember. It wasn't anything special.
Well, here's
Little Samson.
Here's the other thing. I mean, so many retro games are still available. Like, not even talking about like emulation between like the Nintendo
the good
Switch
ones
online service. Well, that's just that's kind of my point. And all the little micro consoles. Like, if you want to, oh man, I wish I could play Super Metroid, but it's really expensive to buy that card. There's a zillion ways to play Super Metroid.
Right.
These days.
Legit.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So it's like, what is it you're looking to play? And I mean, Little Samson. It's a good example. Little Samson.
Emulate that.
Is actually a very good game.
Yeah.
So, but I would not recommend you spend thousands of dollars to play it. But
no.
But I mean, for the most part,
no game is worth $1,000 to play.
For the most part, the really good retro games are still pretty readily available.
Yeah.
To play.
Yeah.
So.
But I do hate that prices are so out of control, because it does just throw up yet another barrier to entry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To this, which is why I love the things like what you were just saying, Phil, and also like the mini consoles. I love that the mini consoles are a thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get more obscure stuff, and then whatever that game was that I'm mentioning, it's a game that's common enough that they managed to get a factory sealed copy for a nothing price.
Right.
Like, that's how common it is.
So,
but it's just like, it's the mentality. And I'm not saying that it's the wrong way to think, but I can't wrap my head around it, which is like, you bought this because you wanted to play it, but because it's sealed, you can't bring yourself to open it.
Right.
If you came across a gem that you got for $10 and it's worth 10,000, sure. But it's some common, it's like I don't even know. I
wonder if this question too is talking about platforms that aren't as easily emulatable at this point in time, because retro games, I mean, you go back to 10 years, If you're talking about PS3 games or PlayStation 2 games, like stuff that's not as easily to come by in terms of emulation too. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I guess those prices are going up.
Yeah. Let's do this one from hacker alias Claudius Caesar 8, who says, I don't like the quality of life term for gaming. Sounds like what a gamer that lives in a basement without sense of real life would say. Why not say quality of play instead? It's even 100% accurate. Yeah, I think we've talked about quality of life is not a great term. More like user experience upgrade. Or like UX upgrade is what
I prefer UX upgrade.
The three of us would prefer, but unfortunately, like it's sort of took hold. People say quality of life upgrades.
The industry don't listen to us.
No.
I mean, that's in patch notes. Like we've made a few quality of life improvements. I mean, that's just a thing now that has worked its way into gamer speak.
And it's not just in games.
It's going back.
It's software in general.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of different things, but it's software in general. I mean, I don't work in games anymore, but I do work in software, and it's still something you come across all the time. Software and apps and things like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that applies to like accessibility settings, which you could say are quality.
You can make an argument for that,
right?
Yeah,
but
it doesn't always.
It's sort of leaked over into just regular use.
Yeah,
not always correct.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up with this one from hacker alias Benjamin Rivers, who says you get to have dinner with one game developer. Who is it, and what do you eat?
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh God!
And we eat Hideo Kojima.
I knew it. I didn't know who it was going to be, but I knew it was going to be somebody.
To gain his knowledge, of course.
There you go.
Imagine
that's how you gain Kojima's knowledge. You have to eat his brain.
Shigeru Miyamoto, after having eaten Hideo Kojima's brain, imagine the games you would get then.
Oh,
it'd be brilliant.
Just brilliant. Imagine it. Yeah.
I would say I would love to sit and chat for a couple of hours with Yu Suzuki.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one.
Just eat whatever's on the menu from Shenmue. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I'd want to.
Stupid guy Jin in the chat said Ben Rivers and Donairs. CJ can back that up. CJ's had Donairs.
Absolutely. That'd be fantastic. I mean, of course, I'm going to pick any Sea of Thieves developer, right? Either the executive producer Joe Neate or Mike Chapman, the designer, or Andrew Preston. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick them, right? Because I could pick their brains about the design of Sea of Thieves, and that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Assuming.
And I have gotten to talk with them. That was a blast. I got to fanboy out talking with game devs at E3. It was fun. Anyway,
did you drunkenly tell them how great they were as
Kiki and Kiki's delivery service?
You guys are so great as Kiki.
You guys are great.
No. What was that like? What is Gigi like in real life? Is Gigi as cool as he seems on the show? Assuming language barriers. And indeed status as currently existing is not a factor. I'd like to have a chat with Gunpei Yokoi. It would be a one-sided conversation today, but if we
wow.
But if, assuming that we can go throughout history, that would be someone I'd really like to talk to.
Sure.
He did it's terrible. I would like to talk to Gunpei Yokoi more about his early days designing toys for Nintendo.
Yeah, totally.
So What's so funny about that, CJ? What's the big joke there?
I thought you were gonna talk about you'd have dinner with Gunpei Yokoi and eat Teo Kojima.
Jesus Christ. That's just gross. That's just crude and gross. How dare you? How dare you?
You just made that same joke. With Miyamoto, it's okay.
Absolutely disgusting. I would love to talk to Gunpei Yokoi about designing toys. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
How that mentality translated into early game design.
Yeah.
So there.
Right.
How's that for an answer? Laugh about that one.
I can't.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think you
It's
could.
not very funny, Phil.
Yeah.
We bring you here to be funny, and you're not doing it.
Oh,
dance, monkey.
Laughs.
I'd like to Randy Pitchford, and we go to medieval times.
There you go.
There.
Yikes.
There
all right.
Are
we done? I think we're
I'd
done.
like to
I think we were done before this last one.
Yeah.
Eat with Reggie.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart sometimes. You will also find Generation 16 episodes.
CJ steams right past that when there's nothing out recently. I love it.
I already
know
love
that you still mention it. I love that you still mention it. The new episode is just about done. I feel like patrons, $3 plus patrons, will actually be watching it next week.
Oh,
very nice.
So. I'm just seeing Bill Mudron's comment in the chat about Gunpei Yokoi becoming the Beetlejuice to my Lydia Dietz.
Yeah,
which I'd be all for. Just say Gunpei 3 times and poof, he appears.
There you go.
With a new Game & Watch idea.
Yeah. You will also find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode. You will also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this very episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can tune in and watch us live most weeks all over the place. YouTubes, Twitters, Facebooks, Twitch.televisions. Just follow our Twitter account, which is @P1 Podcast, to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically Sunday nights, 5:30 specific time. Just like this week. Just like every other week for the past, I don't know how long, but it's been a long time. So you can set your watch to it, friends. If you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. We have meals to buy for our game development friends.
We have full priced games that we must purchase.
Yeah, I mean that day is gone. It's not going to be buying itself at full price.
Can you buy it at full price anymore?
Well, I mean the sequel, right?
It's fair,
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Nobody wants that game. But you know what? Your Patreon dollars do, of course, help support our show. Keeps our Melon app streaming here. Keeps all that all those costs of running a podcast. Keeps us afloat. We appreciate it so much. Of course, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode where we play games, crack wise, have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. We have a game this week, CJ.
We do indeed.
Is it a Jeopardy game?
It is a Jeopardy game. It is a Seinfeld Jeopardy game.
Oh,
in fact,
sweet.
I hope we do this as a group because I like Seinfeld, but I do not know the minutia of Seinfeld. You know,
I see.
You know, what's the name of Seinfeld's girlfriend with the man hands? I don't know.
Mulva?
I don't know. I know there
Mulva.
was an episode where he had a girlfriend with big hands, and
yes,
that was made the subject of fun.
She's got the hands of a man.
I know Kramer's first name is Cosmo. And
Okay,
I know Michael
can we
Richards is
let's
racist.
not. You don't
let's
go
keep
ahead
going
and
here.
like give all the answers.
Yeah, it's all the questions. It's a Jeopardy
Oh,
style game.
that's right. Yeah.
But join us for that, folks, will ya? We'd appreciate it. And of course, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/generation16, where you can help support Greg Stewart's Outstanding. And it is real and it is fabulous.
I think you're just setting us up so that we make you
Right,
we
you're
make
a
you play by
ringer.
yourself and you win everything.
Web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. Like I said, early release of the new episode should be next Monday, about a week from now. And also, if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to the weekly commute, a series of video blogs that I do every Sunday, which talks about the creation of the show, also progress in my game room, talks about the different things that I use for research on the show, and just sort of anything else that's on my mind every week. And since you only support the show per episode and not per month, you know, it's about $20 a year that you're spending on this weekly content. So how can you go wrong?
You can't.
Right.
A bargain at twice the price.
Exactly.
No.
And if you want to support it twice the price, you could do that too.
There you
It
go.
gives you twice the warm feelings inside.
Exactly.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Sure.
Oh, secondplayer.net. Secondplayer.net. CJ, what's
right.
going on over at secondplayer.net?
Highlighting fantastic video game podcasts and YouTube channels like Kane and Rince did an episode of their show on the Turtles and Simpsons arcade games. That's real fun.
Nice.
They got a guy in there from the One Credit Classics YouTube channel who tries to finish each arcade game on just one credit. So he talks a lot about the strategies in the Turtles and Simpsons arcade games. It's really fun.
Is that
to
possible?
listen to. Yes, apparently it is.
Jeez,
There's
okay.
video evidence.
My goodness.
Imagine it. And then No Clip, Danny O'Dwyer's thing, did a documentary on Astro's Playroom that's really
great.
a lot of fun
nice.
to listen to.
Okay.
And so definitely check that out. But I highlight a bunch of like podcast and YouTube videos that you should check out. So come on over to secondplayer.net or the secondplayer.net Twitter account.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's it then. CJ, thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
So much. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you for the thank you. And of course, thank you to our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single one of you. We appreciate you ever so much. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. Wear the masks. Get those shots. Two of us did.
Yes.
Two of us did.
I'm not allowed yet.
I know. What does that
Not
say?
eligible yet.
What does that say?
Says that-
How's that free medicine of yours? Yeah. Yeah. Although this was free. We got these for free.
That
feels good, doesn't it?
That was
Like a
free.
special,
It does
not
feel
just-
good.
treat. like a sweet little treat.
Isn't it nice to go get some sort of, medicine and not have to
Yeah.
worry about how much it's going to cost?
Actually,
It's
yeah.
weird.
Can we do that for everything, please?
No.
You can move
Yeah.
north.
I mean,
Okay. I'll think about it.
Oh man. Which one did you get, CJ?
Pfizer.
I got. You know what? I got the Pfizer too. For my follow-up though, I think I'm gonna get the Moderna.
Yeah, mix it right up.
Spread it
Mix it
around. Yeah, try and get all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and complete the set.
Got to
Yeah.
make sure you
That
got
sounds
all
like
bases
something
covered.
you'd do.
You want all of them, But yeah, we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.